The traditional British pub. For centuries, the pub has been a place for our society to socialise, celebrate occasions, and even drown their sorrows. But although the public house contributes an important part to Britain's small business network, as well as $23.1 billion a year to the economy, they have faced some considerable hardship over previous decades. Since 2001, 25% of pubs have closed for various reasons across the country. But why are they closing? The Victoria in Withington, Greater Manchester, is what many people would describe as a traditional English pub. The building itself dates back to the 1800s, but was bought by Hyde's Brewery in 1904. Its period exterior with etched windows hide the large Gothic interior, which has been carefully preserved to resemble the pub's history.
The actual building was built on the 1800s. Hyde's, I believe, took over in 1905. And I have learnt that although the interior has changed, the exterior hasn't, so that's still as it was back then. We have a really good range of cask ales. We've been in the Camera Good Beer Guide for 5 or 6 years, so we're known for that. We cover as much sport as we can on BT and Sky, which obviously brings a lot of people in with shoulder boxing. Super Bowl, that's always a good one. And we just have a really good mix of students and locals, 18 to 80 we call it. I think if you don't get the mix where you try and not please all your customers, but you have to have something that's suitable for them all. If you don't get that, or you get a bad reputation, you don't show the sport, you don't have music on or entertainment, you're not doing anything to get them in, then you're not going to get them in to purchase anything.
So, in your eyes, find like the traditional British pub, what's that? What do you think?
For me, it doesn't do food.
Right.
I'm not a believer in food pubs. It's good ale, good service, good banter, clean, friendly, welcoming.
Hardy Wells, or formerly the Birch Villa, dates back nearly 200 years. It sits at the end of Curry Mile on Winslow Road in Rusholme. Named after Hardy's, the Hume-based Crown Brewery, it was a popular drinking spot for decades until it shut in August 2016. On the south-facing wall of the pub, there's a poem written and painted by Len Cisse in 1994. Recent plans have been confirmed that the pub is to be turned into flats and shops. However, according to Emaar Developments, Cisse's poem is to be untouched in the redevelopment. Toaster Mill Brewery and Tap Room in Northamptonshire is an example of a new movement to preserve old and mostly listed buildings and turn them into pubs. I met up with Ray Hunt, one of the founders and owners of Toaster Mill Brewery, to find out more about the stunning building and its heritage.
We're in Toaster Mill Brewery. The brewery itself has been here 5 years now. It's in its third location, the actual brewing equipment. It was first in South Wales at Dare Brewery, then we bought the brewery and moved it to Whittlebury, ran the brewery there for 3 years, and then moved it into this building in Toaster. The building we're in was a working mill up until the late 1960s. It was part of the Eastern Neston estate, so it was the estate mill. The oldest part of this building was built in 1794, or finished in 1794. Had a major fire in 1911, at which point an extension was added to it, so there's a Victorian part of the building. Then in the 1930s, the part of the building we're in now was added on as well. So the bulk of the building was for storage. There's two mill streams that run right underneath it, but the mill stream we're on dates back to the Domesday era, when there was a mill further downstream recorded in the Domesday book. So it's a fairly ancient part of Toaster.
After speaking to Ray, I could see why the brewery was so successful. His passion for the building and its history was second to none. I wanted to know Ray's thoughts on why pubs struggle and so many were closing down.
I think the closing of pubs, there's lots of different reasons for it. Firstly, the economy, people have got less money to spend. I think there's the alcohol lobbies trying to stop people drinking quite so much. All those sort of things will affect pubs. But I think there were too many pubs in the UK, and a lot of them offering the same sort of thing. I think you've got to try and do something slightly different to be successful. The other area, I mean, we're obviously free of ties, so we can buy our beer from wherever we like. A lot of the pubs in the UK have been affected by what were the beer orders in the early 1990s, when the big breweries were told they had to sell all their pub estates. The estates were then sold to companies who now run them almost as a property company. So they own loads of property, they just rent them out to people and charge them a lot for their beer. So all the tied houses and the tenanted houses that are owned by the big pubcos charge rent and then charge high prices for the beer, so people are very tied into the business. It's very difficult to make those pubs work. I think the free houses, where you have choice, you can do whatever you like in terms of buying beer from whoever you like, will do a lot better, and they can offer something slightly different as well. So.
Okay.
After speaking to both of my interviewees, I came away with a sense of optimism for the pub industry. Although some pubs are still struggling, recent trends suggest that there will be a surge of new ideas to come in the next few years. Hugo Austin, Northern Quota, Manchester.